The rain battered the windows of Pacific Skyways Flight 4291 as it hurtled through a vicious storm over the Pacific Ocean, bound from San Francisco to Tokyo. In the cockpit, Captain Amara Thompson gripped the controls, her knuckles whitening as the Boeing 787 shuddered violently. The passengers' screams echoed through the cabin, a chilling reminder of the chaos unfolding at 35,000 feet. The flight crew, who had dismissed her expertise earlier, now pleaded for her to save them. With only seconds to spare before catastrophe, Amara's hidden military training was their last hope. Buckle up, this is a story of courage, prejudice, and a fight for survival that'll leave you questioning everything. Dr. Amara Thompson, a former Navy pilot with 15 combat missions and now a leading aerospace engineer, stood in the boarding line at San Francisco International Airport on a stormy evening in June 2026. Her sharp eyes caught a faint irregularity in the hum of the left engine as passengers shuffled onto the plane. With over 6,000 flight hours, Amara could sense trouble where others heard only routine noise. She also noticed a slight pressure fluctuation in the cabin, nothing dire yet, but enough to raise her guard. As she handed her boarding pass to flight attendant Sarah Collins, the woman's smile faded into a cold stare. "Boarding pass, please," Sarah said. Her tone clipped as she scanned Amara's ticket. Before Amara could mention the engine, Sarah waved her off. "We've got mechanics for that, ma'am. Keep the line moving." "I'm a pilot myself," Amara said calmly. "I've flown this model and noticed something off with the left engine. It could be a compressor issue." Sarah's eyes rolled. "Sure you are. We get plenty of experts on board. The plane's fine, maybe try a bus next time." She turned to the white passenger behind Amara, her voice warming instantly. "Mr. Daniels, first class is to the left. We've upgraded you today." Amara bit her tongue and moved to her seat in 12B, noting Sarah's warmth toward white passengers and her curt dismissal of a black family nearby. When a young black girl asked for a blanket, Sarah snapped, "We'll get to it later," while promptly fetching one for an elderly white man. Settling in, Amara shook hands with the man beside her. "Marcus Reed, freelance journalist," he said with a grin. "Overheard that exchange. Happens too often, doesn't it?" Amara nodded. "Dr. Amara Thompson, aerospace engineering. Used to fly F-18s for the Navy. That engine noise? It's not right." Marcus raised an eyebrow. "So you actually know what you're talking about." As the plane roared to life, the left engine's pitch grew more unsettling, a subtle vibration rattling Amara's seat. She pressed the call button, but Sarah appeared, her annoyance palpable. "The vibration suggests a compressor stall," Amara said. "It needs a check before takeoff." Sarah's voice rose. "Our professionals handle maintenance, ma'am. Stop disrupting the flight, or I'll report you." A white passenger across the aisle chimed in. "I feel it too. Maybe check it." Sarah's tone softened instantly. "I'll inform the captain, sir." The plane took off, but the engine's hum worsened. Amara tried alerting another attendant, only to face the same dismissal. Memories flooded back, Naval Academy instructors doubting her despite perfect scores, male pilots questioning her combat calls, job interviews where her credentials raised skeptical brows. Her thoughts were interrupted by Daniel Carter, the flight supervisor, looming over her with Sarah smirking behind him. "Ma'am, you're causing a panic with your engine talk," he said loudly. "I'm trying to prevent a disaster," Amara replied. "I'm an engineer with expertise on this aircraft." Carter scoffed. "We have qualified pilots. Keep this up, and I'll call the air marshal." 2 hours into the flight, the plane hit a storm fiercer than forecasted. Turbulence rocked the cabin, and oxygen masks deployed in rows 10 to 15. "System error," a crew member shouted, but Amara knew better. Masks didn't drop without pressure issues. The cabin lights flickered, and the engine's whine grew desperate. Amara unbuckled, ignoring Marcus's concern. "What are you doing?" She approached Carter and Sarah in the galley. "The mask deployment signals a pressure system failure, likely tied to electrical issues." "I can help," Carter snapped. "Return to your seat. This is crew only." As an air marshal approached, Marcus recorded discreetly. "Documenting patterns," he whispered. Midway back, Amara heard labored breathing from row 17. An elderly black man, James Carter, clutched his chest. "My pills," he gasped. "Overhead bin." Amara retrieved them, using her Navy medical training to stabilize him. "James Carter, 25 years Army," he said weakly. Thank you, sister. A white passenger nearby demanded. Why's no one helping him? Marcus muttered. Some passengers are invisible to this crew. Overhearing Sarah in the galley, Amara froze as the attendant muttered a racial slur about problem passengers like her. Before she could confront her, the plane dropped hundreds of feet, masks deploying everywhere. The captain's strained voice announced, "We're descending due to technical difficulties. Use the oxygen masks." The situation spiraled. Emergency lighting kicked in, and the engine's faltering grew dire. Carter announced, "We need passengers with aviation experience." Amara raised her hand, as did a white man with a private pilot's license. Carter ignored her, escorting the man to the cockpit. Marcus recorded, outraged. "You're ignoring the most qualified person here." The private pilot admitted, "I fly small planes. She's got military experience, the one you need." Carter dismissed him, but the plane's lurching worsened. Amara organized passengers, securing loose items and calming children, as Marcus live-streamed the chaos. The plane entered the storm's heart, rain hammering the fuselage like bullets. The captain announced an emergency water landing, triggering panic. Sarah froze, dropping her manual, whispering, "We're going to die." Amara intercepted Carter. "The engine's failing, and we're off course into the storm's worst. Let me help." His contempt exploded. "Your kind always thinks they know better. Get back to your seat." Marcus's camera caught it all, and passengers booed Carter's prejudice. Amara reached the cockpit door, convincing a young attendant, Lisa, to let her in. "Tell the captain Dr. Amara Thompson, call sign Raven, needs to speak about a compressor stall and electrical failure." Inside, First Officer Michael Chun recognized her. "Raven? From Operation Pacific Surge." Amara nodded, spotting her old wingman. Captain Robert Hayes, battling the controls, barely acknowledged her. "Strap in and stay quiet." Michael vouched, "She's Raven, saved 40 lives in 19. Amara cut in. "Captain, I'm an aerospace engineer. The failures suggest a cyber intrusion in the avionics. I can reset the systems." Hayes hesitated but relented as alarms blared. "Tell me what you need." Amara outlined a plan to disconnect the compromised maintenance port in the electronics bay while maintaining manual controls. Hayes handed her his access card. In the cabin, Marcus rallied passengers to aid James, whose heart condition worsened. Sarah, now subdued, assisted quietly, but Carter burst into the cockpit, demanding Amara's removal. "She's breaking protocol." Hayes shut him down. "She's the reason we're still flying. Get out." In the electronics bay, Amara worked in a cramped, shaking space, rerouting systems with precision. The plane had 20 minutes of fuel left. She improvised a damaged connector, a risky move with a 30% chance of overloading systems. "Do it," Hayes ordered. As Amara initiated the reset, the plane went dark 3 seconds of total blackout. Systems flickered back, but the left engine stayed dead. In the cabin, Carter tried tampering with the fuel valves, claiming to fix Amara's work. Marcus and passengers restrained him. Amara returned to find Hayes suffering a heart attack. Michael invoked emergency protocol, placing Amara in the co-pilot seat. They planned a daring military-style canyon run approach to Tokyo's Narita airport, using terrain to shield from winds. Air traffic control warned of a cargo hold breach. Carter's doing. With fuel gone, they glided toward the runway, Amara and Michael synchronizing perfectly. The plane hit hard, skidding on a rain-soaked runway, stopping just feet from disaster. 3 months later, at Pacific Skyway's Seattle headquarters, Amara testified before the FAA. The crisis wasn't just mechanical, it was a culture of bias that ignored expertise and risked lives. Carter faced prison for endangerment. Sarah, fired, now advocated against discrimination. The airline, under new leadership, revamped its protocols. Amara, Marcus, and James became symbols of change, their story sparking global reforms. As Amara boarded a flight to speak at a Tokyo safety conference, the captain announced, "We're honored to have Dr. Amara Thompson, who saved Flight 4291, aboard." The cabin cheered. Her phone buzzed. Marcus's documentary had won awards, and James's speech had gone viral. The plane soared smoothly, a testament to a new era. What would you have done on Flight 4291? Would you have recorded the injustice like Marcus or stayed silent to avoid conflict? Should Carter's punishment be harsher? Or is systemic reform the real answer? Have you ever been dismissed because of who you are? Share your story below. Hit the like button if you believe in equal respect, and subscribe for more stories of heroes fighting prejudice. Can one person's courage change an industry, or does bias always win? Comment justice for punishment or reform for systemic change. Let's spark a debate.